Hello YouTube, Byron at Splitting Slices. Well, it's the afternoon of Thursday, October 17th, 2024. Wanted to do a long video, basically a midweek mail call. So I have in front of me basically all three of the Second Amendment signs and the display cases, in which I'm going to go ahead and give those away as part of my 500 subscriber giveaway. I think at this point we've hit all the thresholds, so I think Saturday this week I am going to give away the first of the three boxes, and then there'll be a couple other giveaways next week. I would just check in with my community tab. It'll give you a better idea of when I plan on making the drawings for these. And I'll probably be drawing one winner and maybe one or two alternates, just so I can go ahead and get these out on one video each. And so yeah, stay tuned for that. So I finally got my third sign in from Chicago Knife Works. I want to thank them for getting that shipment out. They had recently some flooding in their Virginia warehouse and had to shut down operations temporarily, but I waited about a week and they managed to get the merchandise out, so I want to thank them for that. I got the third and final sign, so I've got it mounted in the case. You can see all three cases here. We've got all three knives and we're ready to go. So the first of those giveaways will be this Saturday, so stay tuned for that. Also managed to get a knife I ordered from Chicago Knife Works. So what I'm going to do is clear the table of the display cases, and then we'll come back and do a midweek mail call on two knives. So stay tuned. All right, this is the first knife box that I got in from Chicago Knife Works. So let's go ahead and cut the box open and take a look at what's inside of this. I'm using my Rosecraft Briar Patch Jack. It's one of three knives that I am only allowed to use this month for 30 days as part of the Hunting for Hookers 1 in 5 challenge. That's where you choose 5 items, carry it the entire 30 days, and you limit yourself to one knife. But I've had to limit myself due to my job to one of three knives. I've got a heavy-duty folder, a slip joint, and a fixie. So that fixie is the Nova 1 from Bob DeMarco. The slip joint is that Rosecraft Briar Patch Jack that you saw, and the heavy-duty folder is my Cold Steel Recon 1. So here's what we've got in from Chicago Knife Works. Now this was on sale. This is a budget knife, but I wanted to go ahead and check it out because it is one of the larger knives. I do like the larger folders, and it looked to me like the price was right on this one. So this is the PMP Spartan in an N690 blade steel. I think it has basically black G10 handles and is the XL version. So I think this has a 4.5-inch blade. So let's go ahead and we'll use the knife again to open up the plastic. Get into this nice zipper pouch. Basically, it's like a hard case, like almost like a sunglass case. And here is the pouch. So we've got a zipper section over here where you could store paperwork, I imagine. And then over here is the knife in this pouch in a plastic bag. So inside comes the certificate of authenticity card. That's the PMP knives. And then gives all the information on the knives, so and along with a scan code. So www.pmp-knives.com is the website if you care to check this out. Of course, I bought mine at Chicago Knife Works, and like I said, this was on I believe a clearance sale, so I got a pretty good price on this. So let's go ahead and set this off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and close the Rosecraft Briar Patch Jack for safety. And let's go ahead and open up this bag. So it just comes in a Ziploc bag. And we'll go ahead and toss that up to the front. And here is the knife. So I was told that this had a slight blemish on the G10 handles. And I've got it's right. I've got a slight blemish, but you know, nothing too bad. It looks like maybe just a little bit of oil or something has kind of gotten into the G10, and actually I might just go ahead and put a entire coat of mineral oil on the entire thing and kind of darken it up, and then I doubt you would even see that blemish. But this is the PMP Spartan. Now it is a front folder or a front flipper knife, and I'm not big on the front flippers, but the price was right on this one. Plus, if you notice, it not only has the stamped steel pocket clip on that, but it's got a opening in the blade, so should be pretty easy to flick out. So I say. Had to thumb roll that though. Now this is a budget knife, and I do believe this just comes with on washers, so the action on this is not very good as far as being a fidget tool. Plenty of room to get in and actuate the liner lock mechanism, but really no drop shutty action on that. And there you go, I finally got that to flick open. But again, I thought the price was right. It's a bigger blade, so I believe it's like a 4-inch or 4.25-inch blade of N690 steel. And here you can see some billboarding on the blade, PMP Spartan XL. All right, does have the G10 scales. It is not, it looks like not an ambidextrous pocket clip. Although there is a screw over on the other side, but just one, not a second screw like is in this side to hold the stamped pocket clip on. All right, jimping up on the spine, you also have a jimped or a gear type back spacer. Okay, and that does wrap around the end, so if you wanted to get a little pokey, as Stasa says, there you go. Kind of a stone-washed matte finish on that blade, and absolutely no drop shut action at all on this, and honestly kind of a soft D10 as well. So I know there's a lot of you out there that are not going to find this knife very attractive, but like I said, for the clearance price that it was, I thought I'd try it out as just basically a budget banger, carry around, use it as a work knife with a bigger blade on it. So there you go. So this is the PMP Spartan XL. All right. And there is that knife. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video again, and we're going to open up the second mail call that I got in this week and take a look at that knife. Finally, I got this large box, and although it's rather light for what I think is supposed to be in this box, but I have a feeling maybe once we get in here and take a look at it, we'll figure that out. So let's go ahead and use the Rosecraft Briar Patch Jack again to cut into this box. I'm going to try to not show any information, because there is some personal information in, I believe, on the label as well. Now, this is late coming, and I understand there was some shipping faux pas that took place on this, and in fact, that we might, like I said, when we get into it, discover what happened. But as I understand it, I was one of the last winners of the 2024 Ultimate Steel Challenge by Knife Rights, which is a fundraising activity they do each year. Usually goes from May to somewhere around late September, mid-September. And we're going to go ahead and take a look in there. So here's what it says. Knife Rights, a sharper future, essential tools, essential rights. Thank you for supporting Knife Rights through your donation in the Knife Rights Ultimate Steel Spectacular. Your contribution will help us continue to work towards a sharper future for all Americans during the remainder of this year and into next year's legislative session. And of course, Knife Rights is one of a few Second Amendment knife rights organizations that basically lobbies on behalf of us and protects our Second Amendment knife rights, as well as tries to do their best to overturn archaic and, quite frankly, in many cases, just downright stupid laws that we have on the books from years ago that need to be abridged, need to be done away with. So this is what's in the box. Now, I think there's packing tape, but I don't see anything else in here. And that must explain kind of the shipping snafu, as well as the lateness of this arriving. So let's get into this. Now, this is a custom Hunter fixed blade knife that was made by an ABS journeyman knife maker out of Arizona, whose name is James Ingram. He is, I believe, also a U.S. Marine vet, and is still making knives. I believe he has an Instagram account called Ingram's Knives, if you care to check him out. But this was a knife that he made and donated to Knife Rights for the Ultimate Steel Spectacular. And I was lucky enough to be one of the last participants and winners in that. And let's take a look. So I'm going to take off the cardboard sheath, and here you go. So what we're looking at is basically I think it's a 5.5-inch long stainless steel blade and guard on a desert ironwood, a very neutral handle of about 4 inches long, then along with a pommel cap. All right. Oh, wow. That feels absolutely spectacular in hand. Honestly, the neutral ergonomics make it very comfortable. And basically, it's just a perfect 4-finger grip for my extra large plus hands. If it was any smaller, I wouldn't get that 4th finger around there, but just looks fantastic and feels great. This is a Kephart style Skinner knife. You can see how the tip, it is a drop point, but it also kind of has a slight upswept spine and tip on that knife. So that's really good for basically skinning game and using as an overall camp style knife. Let's turn it over and take a look at this side. You can see that really spectacular ironwood, desert ironwood handle. And there is his logo, James Ingram, of James Ingram Knives, Custom Knives. Now, the reason, obviously, the box is light, and this may have been part of the reason for the lateness in shipment and the snafu, is that I believe there was supposed to be a hand-tooled leather sheath that came with this knife, but it was not in the box. So this might be the reason for the late arrival. I am not going to sweat about that. I know a couple sheath makers in the knife community that I could easily get a slip made to my specifications or a sheath made to my specifications. So we're not going to worry about that. I am just thrilled that I was able to win this as one of the last winners for the Ultimate Steel Spectacular. I encourage each and every one of you to possibly do this in the future. If you can donate, please donate. I'm sure there'll be an Ultimate Steel fundraiser again next year. Anything you can contribute to support Knife Rights and Doug Ritter and staff's ability to fight on behalf of us for our Second Amendment knife rights is welcome and appreciated. So there you go. Just a very cool 5.5-inch stainless steel desert ironwood Kephart style Hunter Skinner camp knife. All right. Basically, I want to say a softened spine on that. No jimping on the back, but that's okay. Just got a real good, comfortable grip on it. So there you go. That's this week's midweek mail call. So again, stay tuned for this coming Saturday. We'll be awarding our first of 3 display shadow box cases, along with those Rough Rider 8-inch long traditional knives for wall display. And then we will finally, here probably in a week or so, go ahead and award that ultimate premium folder, the Tempest Knives Fractus. So this is Byron from Splitting Slices saying split a slice with a friend soon. And that will be it for today. Everybody, take care.